If you want your life to be easy, don't ever do anything. Be sure and stick around to the end to take part in Shout Out Trivia. As you know, I'm a pastor, and I remember my first time in full-time ministry. So here's what I want you to do. Let me know in the comments below, what was your first full-time big girl, big boy job? Let me know in the comments below. My first full-time ministry was in a great city called Prescott in Arkansas, and I remember being in my office those first few weeks, getting my work done, but then wondering, what else do I need to do? I was new, I didn't know anything, and here's what I remember. I remember people getting phone calls in their offices and me being jealous. I wished I was important enough to get phone calls. I had phone call envy. Looking back on it all the way 12 years ago, I laugh because now I get all the phone calls I want. There are some days where I just wish my phone would stop ringing, my emails would stop coming in. Here's what I learned. The more you grow in leadership, the bigger the problems that you face. Solomon said it like this: without oxen, a stable stays clean, but you need a strong ox for a large harvest. Now I know what you're saying. Stephen, this is not a proverb about leadership and problems. Solomon is talking about oxen and stables. But is he though? Is he though? Let me break it down for you. If you want your life to be easy, don't ever do anything. That way, your stable stays clean. But if you want your life to actually matter, you have to take action and mobilize people. And let me tell you, even with the best intention and great leadership, that leads to problems. Action is always hated by those who resist it, and people always bring messiness. It's just in our nature. But if you want your enterprise to scale up, you need more action and more people, both of which lead to more problems. Want to sell more product? You need more people to help you scale up production. Want to provide services to a greater volume of people? You need people who are trained and willing to serve. Want to expand your mission? That means you need more people who are willing to carry the torch. More leadership, more influence necessitates more action and more people, both of which mean bigger problems. My favorite comedian of all time, I actually got to see him last year in Austin. He said this, and I think it was perfect. Check him out on the Jimmy Fallon Show.
I don't know why anyone would ever want to be the president anyway, you know? I wouldn't want that job in a million years. Can you imagine being awakened every morning like this? Problems. All kinds of problems.
If you want a life without problems, don't do anything. But if you want to take on greater leadership, tackle greater problems. Don't loaf around until you get your chance. Seize your chance by stepping up and taking on and solving bigger problems. The problems that no one else is willing to tackle. And then those who are unwilling to tackle the big problems, they will make you their leader. I'm still young. I'm only 32. But the thing that I notice that disappoints me the most is when people who have the capacity to lead, to solve problems, and to make a difference, they're just content living the easy life. They never want to tackle anything hard. And while yes, they're living problem-free, they're also not making any difference at all. There is no real accomplishment without overcoming real problems. Leaders, those who are doing hard things, the industrialists, the civic leaders, the pastors, the business owners, those who are running nonprofits, all leaders. Let me encourage you with this. When you face difficulty, know that there are people who are shouldering responsibility just like you all over your community, your state, and your nation. You probably don't hear from them because like you, they are solving problems and taking responsibility. They know who you do hear from. The critic, the one who has accomplished little yet boasts the loudest. Do not listen to them. It takes no courage to tear down and destroy, but it takes all the courage to build up and create. Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th president, said this 1 year after leaving office in a speech in Paris in 1910. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better, The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends in himself a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. Good leaders keep doing the hard, right thing. It is you who push our world forward. Criticizing has never once done that. It is you who are in the arena, and we need you to keep fighting. I hope you were encouraged by this video. If you were, would you mind sharing it, giving it a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe so that you can catch us next Tuesday when we release the next video. Before we end, shout out to that one guy for getting last week's shout out trivia question correct. Paul's hometown is Tarsus. Now before we go, here's this week's shout out trivia question. I quoted a portion of Teddy Roosevelt's speech, Citizenship in a Republic, but the section I quoted has become known as something else. What is that portion known as? Let me know in the comments below. First one to get it right gets a shout out in next week's video. See you next Tuesday. Grace and peace.